Hello, everybody, and welcome in. It is CLX Foundry Live, and it is the final show before the holiday season hits next week, which is going to be wild. I'm your host, DJ Blue PDX. Joining me live from our studio in Wichita, Kansas, it is our lead technical expert, Paul Steffens, and our master builder, Zach Killingsworth. Gentlemen, we've got some fun things to play with today. But first, let's talk about the giveaway, because everybody wants to know about the giveaway. So here's what we're going to do. If you'd like to know more about the giveaway, type exclamation giveaway in the chat right now. It is a partnership. It is an event going on with Drake, the Lost Drake. So you can check out where we drop the codes by being in our chats, like the specifically Twitch and Kick. And then also we may drop chats on socials. No socials might be my codes on socials. That's YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, and Threads at CLX Gaming. Maybe even in our Discord at discord.gg/CLX Gaming. And then you can find them on Lost Drake's channel at the Lost Drake on his socials, and you can find one today on my channel for the show. So yeah, lots of fun. Check it out. But right now, we've got a marketing build that we're going to do, or just an internal build, or just something to play with, because I love this motherboard so much. Gentlemen, what are we stuffing in this box?
All right, going inside this white NV5, starting out with our processor, we've got the AMD Ryzen 9 9900X. To cool that, we've got the CLX Quench 360 AIO in white with the RGB cap. For our motherboard, we've got the Gigabyte X670E Horus Pro X. This has Wi-Fi on board. It might be a first time for the show. I don't think I've seen this board before, so excited to get this out. It's got all white PCB, looks really cool. For our memory, we've got 2 sticks of Team Group 16 gigabyte DDR5 6000 speed in black with RGB heat spreaders, so a total of 32 gigs of memory in the system. For our storage drive, we've got a single 1 terabyte Team Group M.2 NVMe MP33. For our for our video card, we've got an RTX 4080 Super from Gigabyte. This is the Aero model, so it's all white cooler, white fans. It'll match the build very nicely. And for our fans in our build, we've got 8 of our Game DS Aeolus M2s in white. I love these fans. And last but not least, our power supply. We've got an 850 watt MSI AB850 GL fully modular 80 plus gold in white as well.
Nice. This is going to be awesome. Now, the guys prep the case, get it started. Quick reminder, if you've got questions, there's no such thing as a dumb question. That's why we encourage you to ask your questions, regardless of what platform you're on. We will get to them as quickly as possible. Over on the TikTok side, we got Bugdooza. It's not clicks, it's CLX. Mentions, hello, welcome in. Up over on the Twitch side, over in the purples. Hello, everybody. I see Chillphil Gaming is in the house. Ben Shushan and Baboon Blitz. Hiya, welcome in. Ben Shushan says, I always like Zach's little quips in the Twitter previews. Over on the green side, we have got, obviously, the Emperor is here. McCarthy Tony. Mark Anthony. Jeez, how did I screw that up?
Isn't that a Shakespeare character?
Good Lord. We've got Michael Miller over on the red side. And yes, Michael asked a good question about, like, does CLX offer overclocking on the CPU, but it says over the phone. Whoops, I somehow missed that. So over the phone, I'm not sure if, did you get PC from us? That's actually a Paul question. Paul, take it away.
We're probably not going to overclock your system over the phone. Reason being, overclocks can definitely mess up your stuff, and we want to make sure if something goes wrong that we can take care of it. There's some settings in there if you're not familiar with. You can send too much voltage to your CPU. A lot of motherboards have some safety measures in place, but we don't want to just send it and bad stuff happen.
Yes. Yeah. Sorry, I somehow missed over the phone. I was thinking we were referring to an order that you're placing and ask them to do it over the phone. That you can do if they haven't built yet.
Yep, we can do that.
Let's go over here. Okay. Now, first up, we've got our motherboard, which looks gorgeous. I absolutely love it. This is a Gigabyte X670E Horus Pro X. White PCB on this, some incredible, it's got a ton of heat sinks, so this board is going to be very, very efficient. Taking a look up over at our, there it is, at our I/O shield on the back. We've got quite a few things going on here. So let's start at the very top. You've obviously got your little button up there to adjust. And then my back panel, there it is. And then, of course, we've got both of our antennas for your Wi-Fi, plus we also have the HDMI. Down below there, we've got 4 different USB 2 and 1.1 ports. And then below that, we've got four USB 3.2 Gen 1 ports. And then below that, we've got our USB-C, and that is a 3.2 Gen 2 by 2. So you got 10 gigs up, 10 gigs down. You've got 3 different USB 3.2 Gen 2 type A's, plus you've got your RJ45 part and your audio out. There we go. So, first things first. That is a gorgeous board. All right, we got to make sure the board thinks. When we do that, we're going to have to put in a processor. That is going to be a Ryzen 9 9900X. Relatively new into the market. So, Paul, what can you tell me about this processor?
This is a 12-core, 24-thread processor. It's got a base speed of 4.4, and it will boost all the way up to 5.6. So, yeah, like you said, DJ, top of the line right here. Very nice processor. Something about this board that I noticed. These clips, they even got those in white. Typically, those are in black. I'm kind of surprised they made new clips just for that in white as well.
Right?
Right. Nice. Good attention to detail, Horus.
I'm normally not a fan of white, but that PCB is stunning, says Cosworth. I agree. And Shushan still thinks it's a little bit funky. Goose has just got my 7800X hyped. I went with the 7800 XT and R5 7600X. Well, nice. That sounds like a good plan.
Very nice. Very nice. What are you going to be gaming on, Goose? The little RAM clips are white. Everything.
Bentley Anderson down on the Facebook side says, tried to ask how I can get... Oh, got it. That's so what that needs to do, you just need to go to the webpage down on the bottom, and you'll see, just follow the links. Find it right there. And you just apply, and then hopefully somebody will get back to you soon. Now, as we're getting this all locked down, we see that Zach is putting in all the posts. These are going to be holding up our AIO frame. What are some things that you want to keep in mind when you're putting these together, Zach?
Yes, so whenever installing any heat distribution source, whether that is a heat sink all-in-one or a liquid-cooled device, we want to make sure that we use our proper retention kits. We've got AMD as a manufacturer and Intel as a manufacturer, and then inside those two companies we have a couple of other types of chipsets, so we just want to be sure to use the proper equipment.
There we go. Now, obviously, we've got our already pre-installed thermal paste. So we'll get the ring on there and then just set it down. Now, what he's holding in his hand is actually the pump for the AIO, and that is how we're going to cool this. And for our cooling, we are going to be using a CLX Quench 360 AIO with an RGB cap on it, which looks really good. I know we go over this. I'm going to ask again, what exactly does an AIO do, and why are they important?
So an AIO is what's cooling our processor. So AIO stands for all-in-one. This comes out of the box, ready to go. There's already coolant inside of here. You just grab the right set of hardware that matches your CPU socket, and you're good to go. They're very easy to install, so if you want to get one at home and you've never done it before, you can definitely do it. Typically, there's going to be a couple wires coming out of it, and we'll plug those in once Zach gets it tightened down.
Uh-oh. That is a thing that you brought to contact customer service. Boom mentioned that if you ordered a PC and somebody forgot to install one of the SSDs, will CLX send you one? That is a customer service question. Definitely reach out and to get that taken care of.
Yeah.
Okay. Now the CLX Quench has two things in it when it comes to how it's functioned. You've got a cable for your RGB, and you got a cable for the power pump. So when you're wiring this in, what are some considerations, Zach?
Yes. So what we want to do is we want to subtly hide our cables without causing any damage to anything. Just need to get this out there. And by doing that, we want to just lightly get our cables underneath our posts, and then we can plug them in and fold them over the back of our motherboard. If I can just figure this corner out. There we go.
Now, this is the first time we've used this board on the show, which I think it's a gorgeous board. Call me Gerb. Getting gooder. Hello. Welcome in. Hashim, what's going on? Welcome back in. And Goose did mention 1440p.
Yeah, on 1440, nice. What's up, Hashim?
Yes. Howdy doody. Yes, definitely. Now, once we get this put up, so now I can kind of see why that whole front to back thing would be interesting, because just having all the cables on the reverse side. But yeah, that you'd have to have clearance for that, wouldn't you? You'd have to have, I would imagine, larger standoffs.
Yeah, there'd have to be something cut out in the motherboard tray for all the cables to go through.
Yeah. So, and up next is our RAM. Then we're going to bring back something other than we were just talking about. It's two 16-gig sticks of Team Group DDR5 6000. It's RGB. I love the shapes of these. They look cool. They look amazingly cool. So, for those who aren't familiar with what Paul and I were talking about, can you explain what that? I think I called it the right term. Front to back.
Yeah, back to front, BTF, I think.
Back to front, there we go.
Yeah, you might see that on some motherboards now if you've been shopping around. And that is where the power connectors are on the back of the motherboard. I've never built one myself, but it's a cool concept. The issue with it is all the cases are going to need a redesign to have the proper holes cut so you can plug everything in.
Yeah, I would imagine they'd have to have a custom line of them. So, Nady Realmente. How are my favorite PC builders in the world today? I think they're doing well enough to definitely be able to. We're going to jump out to our operating system, and this is going to be on a 1 terabyte Team Group MP33 Pro NVMe M.2. Looks like a little ramp. You just plug it right in there. Now, Paul, when it comes to hard drives, why go with an M.2?
So an M.2 is just going to be way faster than either a hard drive or a 2.5-inch solid state drive. The speeds on them are just so good. Even like, I think it's Gen 5 is the new stuff out right now for NVMe. Even if you rock with like a NVMe Gen 3, that's still going to be blazing fast. You want your operating system on there so your system boots really quickly. And then if you put games on there, you're not going to have any load screens or anything like that.
Final Kill Cam Man. Yes. Ask, does the CLX CPU light up? And I'm assuming you're referring to the AIO. Yes, it does. Good question. Sven's over on the TikTok side asks, best aesthetic AIOs out there. What do you think?
Best aesthetic. Honestly, like I really like this one that we have right now with the RGB cap. If you want one with like a screen on there for temperature readouts. Oh, let me think. It sucks because the ones that I think that look good are not ones that I would want to install just because of all the extra work going in. Like the Corsair ones look cool. Anything with a temperature readout is pretty cool, but there's a lot more that goes into there. Everybody's got their own proprietary connectors that can be kind of frustrating to build with.
Frenchie says, what would you recommend for someone that doesn't know anything to start building PCs?
Start building so if you want to start building PCs, the best way to do it is you obviously watch some YouTube videos. There's some really good stuff out there, but you can buy an old computer for next to nothing. If you just go on Facebook Marketplace, find like an old office system for like 20 bucks, maybe it doesn't work, and open it up and take it apart. That way you're not worried about damaging anything. That's probably the best way to get used to the hardware and how everything plugs in. Now it will be dated, but at least get you comfortable with handling the components and stuff.
Jumping back over here to Mark Anthony on the Kick side says, that motherboard needs a BIOS update to support the CPU?
It probably will, since we're using the 9900X, and that is something we do in our testing process.
And then Final Kill Cam says, how do I get mine to light up? I swear I have the same one on my CLX 4080.
Your AIO cap, we do have two versions of these. Some are lit and some are not. So if it has this kind of like translucent looking logo like this one has, it should light up, and we'll just have to check the RGB cable. But if it looks like just white printed on there, it's probably not RGB.
There you go. And y'all are have you ever done a build with the new Leon Lee wireless fan? We have not yet. Well,
after show.
Technically. Yeah, after show. We're gonna do it on the that's
already got
there's no after show today. But FYI, there is no after show today.
Not the after show today then.
Next time.
Got him.
Ball Z.
Got him.
Fabio, good question over here on TikTok. What do you recommend for upgrading a pre-build?
Upgrading a pre-build, well, it depends on what's inside that pre-build, but most likely you're going to start with your video card, so that's where you're going to get the most performance gain out of gaming. But it just kind of depends. Storage might be another thing. Some pre-builds come with a small amount of storage just to get you going. So you could throw in another drive or something like that. It just depends on the pre-build. If you have like a spec list or something, I can give you a better recommendation.
Nice. Joe Bills, no. Nope.
See, what's a good upgrade? Come on now.
Right? After work, maybe. What's a good upgrade for my 2080? Good question.
Good upgrade for your 2080. So I personally am still rocking a 2080 Super right now. If I was going to upgrade, I'd probably go with like a 4070. If I could afford my budget, let me go higher than that, then I would. You'd find a good deal on like a 4080 Super. You could do that.
Don't lie, Paul. You'd go with one of those sweet Mercuries.
The Mercuries are pretty cool. But it is a Radeon card.
That's fine.
I'm team NVIDIA right now.
Yep. Ditto. But those are also really good cards. Let's see here. Final Kill Cam man says it does, but it's black. How do I order an RGB wire?
So that's actually like inside the cap itself, so it's not something that we can just like add in.
Yeah. It has to already be the RGB version.
Mm-hmm. Now we might be able to like get into the cap and stuff. If you want to talk to support, they can probably give you a better answer, because I don't know how far down we want to disassemble the AIO. I know that it can be done, but the it might not be. The juice might not be worth the squeeze.
There you go. William, I got a custom PC from your company 4 years ago, and it's an awesome PC. So glad to hear about it. So glad to hear that.
Thanks, William.
No name. What's a good upgrade for a 1080?
Good upgrade for a 1080. It's going to be similar to the answer I gave for the 2080. So I would look at 4070 or higher. I think if you go to, a 4060 is probably going to perform better than a 1080. But the 1080 was a pretty awesome card. So I would probably go with 4070 or higher. Like Zach mentioned, the 7800 XTs are pretty sweet, especially those, what are they called with the fans?
Mercuries.
The Mercury model. It's a XFX. brand, those ones are pretty sweet, so that would be a good path as well.
Nice. Drake says, CLX affiliate here. Love watching the live builds. Well, we're so glad that you're loving it, and thank you so much for your support. Nady Realmente says this question. My PSU, which is an EVGA 600, is a couple of years old, and I've noticed that it started to vibrate a bit, even though everything works perfectly. I made sure to clean it, and all the components are compatible. What could it be?
Could just be a fan being out of balance in there. That's really the only thing that's going to make it vibrate. It's the only moving thing in your power supply. It's just going to be the fan in there. So maybe a fan screw is loose or something like that. I wouldn't think it's anything to be concerned about.
Caleb DeLong over on TikTok says, what's the best monitor for 4K gaming within reason?
Best monitor for 4K gaming within reason? That is a good question. I'm not into a whole ton of monitors, so I don't know what's the new latest and greatest panel, but whatever's most expensive is probably the best. What are we at? Is it like QLED? What is the good panel now? Some people are really into it. I don't really. It doesn't really affect me.
I'm a BenQ kind of guy, so I love BenQ, but also Samsungs. Let's see here. Fabio says a 4060 with an Intel i7, but would my motherboard handle a stronger GPU?
Your motherboard will handle a stronger GPU. I don't even know what motherboard you have, and I can tell you yes.
Let's see here. Jumping back down here because we're a couple behind. Goose 1500 says was stuck between the 7900 XT or a 4070 Ti Super, but realized it was overkill for me, so I went with the 7900 XT.
There you go.
Nice.
Smart.
There we go. All right, thank you, Captain Hodges. Hodges sent a rose. Says, spreading positivity, the world is a better place with you in it. Oh, I appreciate that. We all appreciate that. Jumping over to back to the purple side, it's a 4070 Ti Super. Will last you a good 4 to 5 years if you get them now, and they're a great value for your money, said Hashim.
Hashim is right again.
Witcher 4.
The Witcher 4? Yeah.
Only if Henry Cavill's in it.
Fun.
I've never played any of the Witchers. I have no desire to either.
Trey Driscoll, hello, how are you? It says, about a PC just like that one from CLX. I wonder if that's mine. This is actually an internal build for us to do some testing on. So, thank you for the roses. Thank you for the hearts. Thank you for the likes. We appreciate it greatly. Do y'all think a $400 or to $600 PC on Amazon is good to start with?
It's not bad. It depends on what you want to game with. Now, it's definitely going to be on the lower end scale of things. But if you just want to play like Minecraft, Classic WoW, and 1080, there you go. And it gives you something that you can upgrade later on. You know, once you get a PC, you can upgrade it. Assuming you didn't buy it from a proprietary brand or something like that.
Yeah.
If you buy one of ours,
DeAndre Harris
looks like a cow. Moo.
Right? Oh, God, please don't do that. Let's see here. DeAndre Harris down on the Facebook side said, this is dope. Thank you very much. We're glad to have you here and watching. Now, Paul, you are straightening out all the cables for the fans, but Zach is handling something different, and these are the case cables. So these are a little bit different than just, connecting everything to the motherboard. So Zach, what are these for?
So our case cables on this case here is going to be our power button, reset button, and a couple of USBs. It will vary depending on what case you get for what kind of front panels you have to plug in. But typically it's USBs are like Type Cs and Type 3s, and then your HD audios and your front panels, and maybe some RGB plugins.
And Mark Anthony mentions, what do you think about the new wireless fans that just been released?
Oh, yeah.
I think it sounds amazing.
And I haven't built with them yet, but wireless sounds great.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And the new Height Y70 Touch Infinite case. That I know we don't carry Height.
Hi.
But I'll tell you what we do carry. we do carry codes. We got our first code. Just guess what? It is a CLX Raw DHSJ. So that is going to be CLX Charlie Lima X-Ray Romeo Alpha Dash Delta Hotel Sierra Jammer. There we are. There is your first code. Nice. Nice. And that's, of course, being released over on the green side. Make sure you pop over there. Fabio says, you guys are building that PC hella fast. Yes.
Man,
Sorry.
We're chilling.
Yeah, and this isn't even
See
super
how fast we go
fast.
when the cameras are off.
Drake Melancon says, to follow up.
Ooh, wow.
Yeah. To follow up on a comment yesterday about bladeless fans in PCs, they are coming, and there is a company coming to market next year. It will be a pre-assembled case, not fans only. Oh.
Okay.
Dyson.
Interesting. Right. It's time for the Dysons.
Bring them out.
No Leaf Clover. Hello, hello. How are you?
What's
How
up,
are ya?
brother?
Cerulean. Hello, hello, hello. You missed the last couple of... Yes. So, CLX Raw dash DHSJ. There we go. What's the code for and where do you redeem it? Well, you can do that right here for our giveaway. Let me copy that link for you, and I'll put it right over here in TikTok for you.
Hello, No Leaf.
That is where you go for the giveaways. And then just follow the instructions, and then you'll see down a little bit farther. Once you get the first 3 done, it'll unlock everything else. Sean Nelson is the name of the company. Cool. That's awesome. Now, as we get this all taken care of, one of the cool things that we love about these cases is the fact that it comes with Velcro built into the case to help with cable management. What's the best way to utilize that Velcro appropriately, Zach?
Yes, so I really like utilizing zip ties and Velcro straps. I like using zip ties to get the cables all bundled up, and then the Velcro straps to keep them in place. Helps to just have an overall clean build on the back side.
Nice. Okay. Now, once we get this done, we're going to take a look at something that is under Paul's arm, which is kind of awesome sauce.
Oh, yeah.
This is gonna be our Gigabyte. Our Gigabyte 4080. It's an RTX 4080 Super 16 gig Aero in white. Now, this is the first time I think I've ever seen a white card from Gigabyte.
Look at this bad boy.
That is gorgeous.
All right, we'll get this out of the box.
Everything from Gigabyte is gorgeous. Let's be fair. How do you do the giveaway? Trey, I will go ahead and send that link to you as well. You just want to go follow that. It's clxgaming.com/giveaways. Ta-da, ta-da. There we go.
Gigabyte.
Jigglebyte?
Yep.
Please don't jiggle and bite.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
not missing anything there.
We got
Nice.
anti-sag brackets in here. We got adapters in here. This is a large card. Oh, my gosh.
Good grief, that's
Gonna need a
tall.
bigger boat.
That is massive.
It's a big boy.
Yeah, that is like strict size for sure.
I know. And it's a 4080 Super, not a 4090. Interesting. So let's get this out. Ooh. Careful. It's Gigabyte qualified.
Ooh.
Now, and she shouldn't say that's the size of my torso.
Oh, man.
Yeah, this is a relatively big card. I would say this is.
This is not the
God,
size
is that
of
like
my
a 3 or
torso.
4?
This is like 2 or 3 of my torsos. Oh, my goodness.
Is that like a 4 stack?
So this is going to be a 4 slaughter card. Now what we're talking about there on these 2 tabs, if it was just these 2, this would be a 2 slaughter, but since the heatsink extends out so much, obviously that's going to take up a couple more. So when we say 4 slaughter, that's what we mean. Now I
let's
get
see
to
here.
do all the peels.
C-Bones, are you on Kick right now? We are currently live on Facebook, TikTok, the purple and the green, and YouTube.
I thought we were
There we go.
recording this episode, DJ.
And what?
I thought we were
Pre-recorded.
I thought we were pre-recording this episode.
Can't pre-record this
Oh.
peel.
Shut up. Thought he said for slaughter. Slaughter. Sergeant Slaughter. I think I just aged myself by saying that.
It's WWE
Okay,
guy,
this
right?
Dun, dun, dun,
Yeah,
dun.
and he was also a G.I. Joe character.
Yep.
Dang, dude.
Back
And
a life.
And
What else?
a sergeant in the Wichita Police Department.
Was he?
Yeah, my brother is
No
friends
way.
with a man whose last name is Slaughter, and they did everything in their power to get him promoted to be a sergeant. So,
Okay.
so whenever they have,
Sergeant Slaughter.
yeah, so when they show up to a call and they've got an unruly person, they just go over the line. Yeah, bring in Sergeant Slaughter.
Yeah,
and the guy immediately like, huh?
So this
That's
looks
great.
like it's going to be a heavy card. How does it feel in your hands so far?
This, actually, it's not as heavy as it looks. Now, we're definitely going to be using an anti-sag bracket. It is still a weighty card, but it is not as heavy as it looks. Something kind of interesting. See this? The power connector is like
Way in there.
recessed in there. So that can be kind
like
of nice
that.
for the cable.
Oh, that'll
I think I've
definitely
got
be
a few
helpful.
more peels to find on here.
Living Clover says, hello to everybody. You think your PSU died? Oh, God.
Oh no.
Sad.
That is unfortunate.
Oh,
See what it's like. Here I am. Hello. Welcome in. Glad to have you here.
Sometimes,
Dingus
I don't know why
Amingus.
we need
Hell
peels
yeah.
on
It's
these.
good to see you, my friend.
Why do
see
we
you
need
indeed.
peels on fan
fans?
stickers?
I was gonna say when you said it's pretty
what?
lightweight, I was gonna say like, is it thick because they reversed the fans and the fans spin so fast that they like turn it into a hovercraft
Cancels out some of it.
and
yeah.
it like pushes itself up.
Yep.
That's the next.
That would be a lot of-
That's the next fan.
I bet the heat pipes are hollow like bird bones.
Oh yeah.
You guys know
Dragon.
that bird
I'm
bones were
Dragon.
hollow? Did you know that? People, I'm
Have
not
you
kidding.
have you ever seen a baby pigeon?
Uh-uh.
It's because they're government drones.
Is that what's going on with the drones? No, I was playing WoW with one of my buddies, and he didn't believe me that bird bones were hollow.
How
And
else
we
do
like
they
went
fly?
on like a 10-minute thing. I'm like, dude, this is like
How else do
this
they
is like a
fly?
2-second Google search. Like, I don't even know what we're arguing
Okay,
about.
well,
It's wild.
public education.
Over on the Facebook side, Drake mentions, Melancon says, I know I'm going to get some hate, but I love all MSI builds. I'm still a Dragon fan. Hey,
yeah.
listen,
For that.
MSI makes some, MSI has some great materials.
Those haters
Yep.
can go away.
Gotta
nicely.
I have one of the little red dragons from, God, it was PAX East in 20, no, yeah. I want to say it was 2016 or 17.
We got like a golden MSI dragon, like right over there, I think. I can't-
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
It's
I
yeah,
haven't
it's
seen
is
the
it
gold
over there?
in the
ones.
chest over there. Yeah.
Maybe we can get that.
The new conspiracy theories? Yes. And Dingus Bingus mentions baby pigeons are gross. I've seen them. I saw one. They're
Seen
real.
those people that eat the
Where are we going?
fertilized
Where are we
eggs?
going with this?
It's like right before it's hatched. It's like a delicacy in some countries.
Nope.
Yeah. I forget
We're
what it's
just gonna
called.
go
Someone
ahead
in chat might know.
What's fertilized
What?
mean?
Like it is
What's a s-
developing a bird. Like the beak is crunchy.
Ugh,
Balut, maybe it's
mm-mm.
balut. Yeah. When in
Well,
Rome, you know.
Dimensional Shadow says, what's the CPR? What is the CPR for?
The CPR.
Not sure what that means. I mean, it's... I know that I turn my nose up at that, and it might be a cultural delicacy thing, but also I've eaten haggis before. Now that
Rocky
is-
Mountain oysters. We're getting
that
into
is
some yummy territory
Yeah.
right here.
Dude, David in testing.
Yeah.
David B
Yeah.
said he was gonna order them.
Yeah,
I'm like, you're gonna order some Rocky Mountain oysters?
yeah.
I said,
My grandpa
man.
had a 5-gallon bucket, and every time Grandma would do a chicken fry up.
A 5-gallon bucket
Yep.
of them.
Yeah, because he
How
was
many
the
is in
only
a 5-gallon
person.
bucket?
You really
Like 4?
don't want to know. No, you
Or is
really
it
don't
like
want to
40?
know.
Is
It's
it
a,
4 or
that's a
40?
good amount.
I guess you could say
God.
that seems like a baller move,
Oh, nice. Oh man.
right? There's just a bunch of Sopranos over there somewhere. That's
Oh boy.
Or sheep, technically. Speaking of questions, Trey Driscoll down on the blue side says, so what's the difference between the 4070 and the 4070 Super? Is it just the speed?
So think of them as completely different cards. Now they are in the same family, but just think of them as two totally separate different cards. The 4070 Super is going to perform better than the 4070 Standard.
BB Jess in the house!
What's up?
Oh my gosh. Hello. Long time no see.
Yeah.
Been a minute.
BB says, balut is a popular Filipino dish of a fertilized egg that's been incubated, then hard-boiled or steamed. Balut is a popular Filipino dish. Oh, yes. Just twice.
Is that,
I can't
that's
eat
what I'm
things
talking
with faces
about.
connected. I agree. I agree.
Dude, if the beak,
Yes.
if the beak is gonna crunch, like, no thanks.
Is it crunchy like a tortilla chip, or is it like crunchy like?
It's crunchy like a baby bird.
That is yikes. That is yikes. There is a dish at the place that we go for brunch usually on Sundays that they will cook a whole fish, right, and then serve the whole fish to you. And I'm like, nope. The eyeball is looking at me. The eyeball is looking at me. I can't do this. No, exactly. Jackson's like, nope.
Is that what that is?
Big old bag of no.
I mean, I'm gonna stay away from the head area, but I could do that for sure.
Like, I know that if we somehow lose all in the greater industrialized world, that I would be more of a gatherer than a hunter. But I'll eat fish. I'll definitely go for eating some salmon because I eat salmon as sushi anyways. So, but yeah,
On the menu, whole fish.
Matrix says softly.
Like one fish, please.
Now, one thing that's really cool about this case is it's relatively balanced when it comes to airflow. So we've got our 3 fans on the back plus our 1 on the bottom bringing in the fresh air. And then we've got 1 on the exhaust and 3 pushing the air through that radiator up top. So it does create a slightly positive pressure situation. For those who might not know what that means, Paul, why is that important?
Yeah, so a positive pressure system, like you said, DJ, means we have more air coming in than we do leaving. So with us having 4 intake fans and 4 exhaust with some restrictions on the radiator for exhaust, leaves us with a slightly positive pressure case. The reason we want that is so that all of the air coming in goes through the proper filtration, and if you have a vacuum inside your machine where you have more exhausting than intake, it's going to suck in dust and a whole bunch of other stuff you don't want, and all the little cracks and crevices, and just make your system dirtier.
Let's see. We do have, so Final Kill Cam jumps back to it saying, so if my AIO lights up, does it do it by itself or do I need to turn it on?
It should do it by itself unless you have some crazy AIO I have not heard of before. It should all be plugged in to the motherboard, usually on like a 3 or 4 pin RGB header.
Well, Keith says, think of faces are the best. Think of chocolate bunnies. You eat the face and ears first. No, I don't. You know what I do? I use a creme brulee torch and just melt the face off.
Oh, yeah.
And then I'll eat it. No, just kidding.
I just bite the ears off and throw the rest away. Easy peasy.
You're terrible. Kylo Ren. More fans. Let's see here. So Drake is asking, I just realized that the CLX has the Intel Arc graphics cards. Has anyone at CLX given those a test drive yet? I have.
Oh, yeah. And we've had a ton of people that don't work here give them a test drive. We have those ARC cards in our DreamHack free play pool. So if you've ever seen like videos of DreamHack and you see our systems in the free play area, most of those have ARC cards in them. And yeah, the ARC cards are really great. Really good mid-tier card.
I got a chance to play on it in San Diego. I want to say we were there for DreamHack, and they had Intel had this giant trailer that was beautifully soundproofed. I have no idea how we went in there and it was just virtual silence. They were very quiet cards.
Oh, now I know how they do that on trains. You know how they do that on trains? How, like, have you ever been on a train that like doesn't shake and doesn't rock? They load the base up with concrete, and it's just a solid slab of concrete. The entire that entire train.
The base of the
just
train?
the car.
The car?
train car. Yeah. So like
That
if
is
you ever go
bizarre.
onto a train and like it's rocking and stuff, and like some of them you can walk up and down, and then like you get onto a car that's not moving at all. It's just like it's got a concrete slab
I did not know
on the bottom of it.
That is interesting.
It was so cool. I've only been on
Now-
the train for 3 hours, and I learned some cool stuff.
Dang. I would
I
take
have,
a train more places if
I
they were
know.
faster.
I wish we would.
Come on.
Yeah,
Let's
that
get
would be
Let's
nice,
invest in
right?
some-
Make America railed again.
There we go. Speaking of things that we're gonna rail about, we're gonna rail on this little power supply unit. This is an MSI Mag, 850 watt, 80 plus gold modular in white. Now, two things I love about this is the way that the power cables are ribboned. You can see that right there. They're just solid piece right there. It's rock solid.
Very
And
nice.
it's modular. So, Paul, what is that? What does that mean? And what different kinds of power supply units are there?
So with modular, what that means is none of the cables are pre-soldered in. So you can see we've got these ports on our power supply right here. This is where our cables are going to go into, and then we'll plug them into their appropriate location. What's nice about modular is we can run these power cables to the motherboard and out the back of the case, or however you want to run them, without having this installed. So as a builder, it makes your life easier. For overall aesthetic, your system's going to look cleaner because there's just less cables inside of it. So we always recommend going with modular if you can. But if you can't, that is okay. There are non-modular power supplies where all the cables are pre-soldered in and you just plug in what you need and bundle up the rest.
Yes, absolutely. Now, these almost look like a cable mod kit, but these are just the ones that actually come with it.
Yeah, these ones just come with the MSI power supply, and something else that it comes with that we will use on this build is this 12 volt high power cable. Now this is for the new NVIDIA cards, so it's nice to have that. What you want next, Zach?
Yeah, we could just do all these.
Do all these?
Mama Cuddles in the house. Hello.
Do all these?
But no Leaf Clover says, want to ship that one to me, Paul? I don't feel like that's an option. That's an MSI. Yes, that is the MSI power supply. Phoenix Strider down on the Facebook side says, hello. Good to see you.
Two SATA.
Welcome in.
Are needed.
On one cable is
Yeah.
fine?
Yep.
Okay.
So that one looks like it's braided, or
This one does have some braiding on it. This is the 12 volt high
Okay.
power cable. It does look a little different. I'm not sure why there's braiding on it, but
Yeah.
it looks fine.
To hide that.
I had the little extra.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, these have like a.
That's
oh
cool.
man, I knew what that was called, but I
Like
don't
a
remember. It's like
data
some sort
line
of
or something,
sender.
yeah.
Yeah.
a
Not
cinder.
for power, but it's more like a
Cinderella?
signal wire, maybe.
Oh, got it.
I think.
Still on a modular over there? Listen, there's nothing wrong with non-modulars. Nothing wrong with that at all. I thought it was an Asus Strix. Yes. It does look similar. Good grief. Look at that entire tangle of cords. I would be so confused. All right, so now he's going to get that mounted in there. Now, one thing to note is that the power supply is mounted in a shroud. It's underneath an actual metal casing area to kind of separate it from the rest of the system. Paul, why is that important?
That is important because all the heat from our power supply is not going to get to the main body of the case. Really, though, what's more important to me is just the overall aesthetic of the build. Power supplies don't generate that heat, so that's why that point isn't too much of a big deal. But not seeing it and not seeing where all these cables are coming from is really nice. Gives you a good looking system.
Let's see here. Diggins and Biggins is that code going to drop it like it's hot anytime soon? Over on the complete on the kick side. So we're going to be doing that today. Okay. Now, as we're getting all of these pulled out, obviously, this is going to propose a little bit of a different conundrum because unlike other cables, these are all flat. Normally, you're working with just flats. So, is this going to change the way that you do the tie-up?
No, I actually kind of like flats a lot better than round cables because you can lay them flat. I like being able to stack stuff and being able to stack two cables flat instead of just side by side is a lot nicer.
I will say that what we're just looking at was down below there. I'm assuming is an M.2 heat shield for the second or third M.2. But I notice how deep it goes on the board. I don't know if we can flip back over to the other shot real quick.
Go to that side shot, Jason. I can explain that.
Because because you can see where that right there, and it's interesting because we've got such a giant card that you're not going to lose out on the ability to play with both of those lower PCIe slots. I do love the fact the video PCIe is white as well. So it's very clear and apparent what's going on. Wow, you're right. That does look a lot easier. Huh. Go figure. Yes, there it is. Already just reposted it. So the Sorcerer Von Croy, thank you very much. Does Sabenchushan, does CLX actually mean anything, or is it just a cool combination of letters?
Oh, it's a cool.
Custom luxury xylophones.
Here we go. On the TikTok side, Frenchy says, motherboard, what would you recommend with a lot of USB slots?
Ooh. Okay, so you need a lot of USB slots
question
on your motherboard. So there are good options out there. The higher end motherboard that you go, the more USB ports are going to be on it typically. Now, the price increases quite a bit when you're getting to the high end motherboard. So if you want to avoid that, you can just get like a regular motherboard and then add a USB card, which I haven't seen in a long time, but you can definitely do that if you don't want to pay just to have more USB slots on your I/O shield. If you're not going to use the other features. So that's what I would do. Get a USB hub or buy like a card that's got, 4 or 5 USB slots on the back.
Yeah. And just looking from like there's reviews. No, I'm not looking at reviews for Chicago Times. Good Lord. Buyer's Guide. There we go. Let's take a look at that. So looks like you can find some pretty... Wow, there's some big boards. Which means you're probably going to need an ATX, right? A full-size ATX?
It just depends on what they've got in their system.
Got it.
There are smaller, like ITX boards that will still have a lot of USB ports.
Ooh, good question. Crazy Dane's in the house. Hello. Oops, I don't know where that one was. Let's see here. When was the last stream you guys built a PC with a vertical GPU mount?
Vertical GPU mount. It has been a while. It might have been before
last year.
PAX East a couple of years ago. I'm trying to think.
Yeah. It has been a minute. Definitely been a minute. Frenchie, is it worth getting a 4070 or should I wait for a 50 series?
If you can get a good deal on a 4070, do it. The 4070 price, I think, is at a really good spot right now. Obviously, the 50 series is going to perform a little bit better than the 40 series, but I think the prices for 4070 are at a good spot for most places.
Yeah, I'm looking at... There's now a lot of options for 4090s when it comes to different variants.
Yeah, there's so
a ton of them. Y'all should build a Tetris-shaped one. We do. It's called the Cube. In the beginning, there was the Cube. Let's see here. Charles Grima over on the Facebook side says, when I seen you guys building my custom PC, I spent $4,600 on it and hope I picked the best compatibility items. It's supposed to be shipped on the 20th. Well, congratulations. That should be awesome.
Very nice.
And all hail the Allspark. Yes, finally, somebody recognized that quote. This is amazing. Okay, so how are you going to go about... Oh, I guess it just plugs in from the top. The arrow. I like it. Moderate Hoovian, welcome in, says, I'm pumped for AMD's 8800, but I'm also certain AMD will do something dumb even though they don't have to do. They don't have to. Now, I mean, I've heard some great things about that 8800. It's apparently testing well. Yep, Coca-Cola says the 4090 is the best. Now, I will probably upgrade to a 50 series since I'm on a 30 series right now. But that's, skip the gen. Although I think you can find a 48, like the 4090s right now for relatively cheap, comparatively. Look at that. That's kind of genius, and it looks clean. Look how clean that looks. That is awesome.
Very nice.
And so I'm curious, is it really necessary to have over 20 cooling fans? Well, Frenchie, it depends on what you're doing and how much heat you're pounding out. Oh, Butterhoovian says, I would love to get a 5090, but I'd need to grow a few extra kidneys to afford it. Accurate. Okay, now it looks like we are getting near. Now, this is where it gets fun because we're going to be putting in the anti-sag bracket. So why is there a need for an anti-sag bracket?
So that is there because as cards get bigger, they can start to sag over time, and that will cause damage to your motherboard or the card that itself. So an anti-sag bracket gives your card support on the other side of where it's mounted to prevent that from happening.
Nice. All right, now this case came with one, but so did the graphics card. Mm-hmm. So which one did you choose to use?
The case one.
Got it. Okay. Splash Prince is a good question. Are the claims that a vertical mounted GPU affects gaming performance?
Heck yeah, it does. So does RGBs.
Oh, yeah. Now, what people are referring to there are like the distance everything has to travel because of using a riser cable. I don't think it's going to affect your gaming performance.
Latency.
Yeah, I don't think it's a real
There
thing.
we go, I can see that.
Lag.
Well, actually, people
commenting. Your computer lags because your graphics card isn't connected to your motherboard.
Yes, basically. Yes. All right, now we've got this thing all done. Take a look at that incredible cable management job there on the back. We've even got, you can see where the fan hub is and everything else. So while they're getting this put together, what I'm going to do is take you on a quick adventure over to our website so you can see how you can get your hands on an amazing PC. Kind of like Burger King, we can make sure you get to do it your way right away. They challenged me to do that today. I could use another slogan. We try and make it as easy as possible for you to get the PC of your dreams. Here's why. Whether it's size, you want something small, whether you want something large, we've got them in all sizes. We carry AMD, we carry Intel, we carry Radeon, we've got NVIDIA. We even have Spark. So when you're putting this together, there's so many different options you can choose, whether you want your RAM, but like someone mentioned, how do you know it's compatible? Well, here's how. In the event that you select something that's not necessarily compatible with another component, that little green button that you saw that was up there now says solve conflict, and it's yellow. So to fix this, you want to take a look. In this example, the video card that we've selected requires a larger power supply. So once you solve the problem and switch to a different power supply or switch to a lower grade card, then boom, it goes back to green and you'll know that it's all going to function. If you need extra hard drives, we got them. You need streaming gear, we've got it. You want to upgrade your CPU thermal paste? Great, we can do that. We can overclock your CPU, overclock your GPU, overclock both. It's fantastic. You can get yourself cable mods for your PSU. It's all there. And then at the very end, which is my favorite part of this whole little thing, is our accessories area. We've got capture cards. We've got clothing. Obviously, we love that. You can get these, which these hoodies are great. But everything else you can imagine. We've got keyboards, mice, controllers, headphones, on-desk microphones, speakers, monitors. We've got streaming gear like capture cards. We've got Beacon Mix Creates, Beacon mics, everything you could think of, including routers and even chairs. So it's a one-stop shopping center. And that might seem a little bit over the top. So let's just back it up. I'll show you where you can get yourself one without going through all those steps. And that is in our ready to ship area, what we call the RTS. Now, the RTS is designed to give you a great idea of where you're going to be at from all the way at entry level up to ultra high performance. And they are great PCs, already built, pre-built, and tested, ready for a new home. And who knows, that home might just be yours. So for all of your future PC needs, head on over to CLX Gaming and see what we can do for you. All right. That looks so good.
Oh, yeah.
That looks so good. Oh, my gosh. What? Uh-oh. Oh, we got another one. You know what else is a beauty? We got another code, people. It's Drakemas -WZKA. That is Drake, M-A-S, Michael, Alpha, Sierra, dash, Whiskey, Zebra. I almost said killer.
Kansas.
Kansas Alpha. Good God. Yes. So there it is. And it's in all white. So now let's check it out and see what this looks like. I'm excited. Little arrow on the front.
Breathe
Now just take a second. As the motherboard starts up.
Got everything together.
We know the RAM's running. Oh my gosh.
That was cool.
That is awesome. That is absolutely freaking incredible. Well done. Let's go over one more time what's inside this beautiful NV5 white CLX Horus PC. This obviously is an NV5, like I mentioned. It's got an AMD Ryzen 9 9900K processor that is going to be cooled by a CLX Quench 360 AIO RGB in white. It's going to be all mounted on a Gigabyte X670E Aorus Pro X, and it's got 32 gigs of Team Group DDR5 6000 plus that Gigabyte RTX 4080 Super, and the operating system is on a 1 terabyte Team Group MP33 Pro, and that is an NVMe. It's got 8 different Game Days AOLED M2s in white, and it's all being powered by that MSI Mag 850 watt 80 plus gold modular in white. Nicely done. Okay, so normally the show goes in 2 parts, but that is not happening today. We will, by the way, not be around next week because of the holidays. So wow, love it. So we wish you all a safe and happy holidays. In the process of things, don't forget, there is still places for this giveaway for you to find things. So again, if you want to find out all about what's going on with CLX and possibly find some codes, you can find them on our socials at YouTube, TikTok, Twitter, Instagram, and Threads at CLX Gaming. You might find them in our Discord at discord.gg/CLX Gaming. And then we do, of course, have them on the streams in our chats. Plus, you can also get them over on The Lost Drake stream. That is kick.com/The Lost Drake. You can find The Lost Drake on socials and as well as his Discord. Plus, you can also find them on my streams. And I'll have one immediately after this show as I'm going to go back in and play some Black Ops Zombies. Look at that thing. That thing is wild. I love it. Turned out so well. So well. So, with that being said, that is our show for the day, and we will see you the following week. So, on behalf of Jason and Kyle, Paul and Zach, I'm DJ Blue PDX. Sorry, I was almost with the normal one.
Next year.
Thanks for watching. We'll see you next year.
See you in 2025.
Happy holidays.